Alright, so this one is Catacombs 51, a 2D top-down shooter with a new level procedurally generated every 10 seconds. Each level is harder than the last, so grab weapons and power-ups to progress and go for the high score. Created using Game Maker Studio. Mouse and keyboard required. The web version requires WebGL. Desktop is significantly better than the web version. I'll download the desktop version. Persist your high score. Alright. I'll go ahead and use the updated version. Catacombs 51. Sorry about this, 1 second. Sorry about that. Alright. Let's try it out. Alright, so can I go full screen on this? I can. Cool. Okay. Your logo is like kind of rotating back and forth slowly. Nice little touch to make it a little bit more interesting. Alright, so I can use WASD or I can use arrow keys. I use my mouse to aim. I can hold to shoot, that's good. I'm getting +5s, and then it reset me after 10 seconds, I guess. I got +50 from killing that guy. Okay, so new levels every 10 seconds. Okay, so I'm trying to basically run to get whatever upgrades I can see as fast as possible. I'm not sure what these +5 and +50s are doing. Let's see here. What's that? This one, fire rate. The sound effect is kind of loud and annoying because of how fast I'm firing. Okay, now I've got a rifle, so that's a little bit less annoying. Let's see here. What's the bite? Oh, that guy killed me. Okay. 5 levels. Let's try again. What is that upgrade? +1 accuracy. So I guess the +5 and +50 are just my score. I'm trying to go for a high score. I don't feel like I get to choose what direction I want to go in the 10 seconds. I don't really have... It's just more of like a... Get the closest thing that you have time to get, and I don't really care how big your levels are, because I'm not exploring them. I'm just going for whatever upgrade I can see when I spawn. And it feels like the levels being that big, it's kind of pointless if I can never really get through them. Sorry about the coughing. I like how there are different enemy types and you can tell what they are by the different look of them. These like long corridors are kind of unfair with the shooting enemies because I can't really dodge the bullet, and it doesn't have like a... I don't really have the time to wait it out, you know? Okay, there are bathrooms now? That's interesting. Just going for the nearest upgrade that I see. I can get maybe 1 or 2 upgrades per level. Doesn't really seem like it's up to me though. Those are just way too many enemies there, and see they're like shooting down that corridor, so it's like if I see an enemy that can fire, I need to be careful of how I'm approaching them, and I don't really have time to be careful about... I don't get to make that choice, which is unfortunate. Okay. Yeah. Okay. What are... That's my health down there, I guess. Okay, so it's not really worth running through enemies to get upgrades, because of how quickly you die. Interesting that the fast enemies are spawning on the first iteration. I thought those would only spawn in later levels, but I guess any enemy can spawn at any point. The firing enemies, they fire the second they see you. It'd be nice if you had like a bit of time before they do their first fire. Because like as soon as they see you, you have to like dodge. And it'd be nice if I could like kind of have a chance to dodge it without, you know, them attacking as soon as they see me. It does feel very RNG reliant, like I haven't gotten a new weapon or anything yet, and that's not really my own fault. It's just like at the hands of RNG, which doesn't feel great. There's a rifle right there. I can't reach it though. So the point of the game is to get scored by killing enemies. What I could do is I could literally just stand at the spawn and just get points infinitely. There's no reason for me to leave, right? I can just stand here and just keep getting points and never have to leave. And I could win that way, right? Which isn't fun. So I think I need more of a reason to leave, because I know that I'm safe at the beginning and I can get free points this way. So if I were trying to optimize the fun out of your game, I wouldn't even interact with most of it. I would just kind of like stand where I'm safe and fire. Anytime I take damage would just be because of me being impatient. So how would I force the player to move out of the safety of the spawn area? Well, maybe you need to do something before each... I don't know, I don't think there is a way to force the player out when you generate new levels every 10 seconds. Maybe if you can't kill the... No, that's just adding arbitrary limitations. I don't know how I would solve that issue. Okay, so you say the levels get harder each time. I don't know if the enemies are getting more health or not, but it feels like I can still kill them without having gotten any upgrades. I guess they're taking longer to kill, maybe? So I don't feel like I need to get upgrades to keep killing them. Maybe I do need upgrades, because I'm sitting here firing at this big guy for so long, but eventually I'm not going to have enough firepower to kill even a single enemy. Yeah. Alright. Alright, I think I get it. I'm sure there are other weapons and stuff that I didn't get to see, which is unfortunate, but it was all just random chance, I guess, which is not my favorite thing. Yeah, so what do I think about this game? I liked your different enemy types. I liked how you could tell what they were by looking at them quickly. You had the fast ones, you had the ones that could shoot, you had the big ones. That was cool. I don't think having a maze-like level generated makes sense with such a short time limit. If the time limit were longer than 10 seconds, it might be more appropriate, but with 10 seconds you don't have time to explore a maze, so you don't get to interact with the maze itself, you basically just say, oh look, there's an upgrade right next to the spawn, I'm going to go for that one, and oh look, a new level now. So if you only have 10 seconds to do the level, try to make it so it's more centralized around where the spawn is, I think. Have like multiple upgrades available near the spawn that I could choose from, so that I'm making an interesting decision instead of just going for whatever is closest to me. The fact that you could stand in spawn and just get points that way seems like an exploitable thing. I suppose once it gets far enough, they'll have enough health where you can't kill them without upgrades, which kind of beats that strategy. The weapon sound was pretty annoying. Maybe tone that down a bit, like, not make it so harsh on the ears if I'm going to be hearing it a lot. I liked how you could hold down the fire button instead of having to click it a bunch. That's a problem I see a lot in games, is where you have to click to fire each time, and that isn't good. So I like that I could hold down the button. Yeah. Overall, I give it a 3.5. Fun, I give it a 3.5. Innovation is a top-down shooter. You're innovating by generating new levels every 10 seconds and having different enemy types and having different types of weapons that you can find. I'd say it innovates on the top-down shooter pretty well, but I don't know if those innovations are necessarily in the right direction. But it's innovative. I'll give it a 4.5. Let's go 4. Theme. So every 10 seconds you're generating a new level. Yeah, you are implementing the theme. My problem is the theme is kind of holding your game back in a way. If I had more time to explore your mazes, I would probably feel better about the RNG, because I'd have more of a chance to decide where I want to go in the maze. But how it is now, I feel like the theme is kind of holding it back based on your level design. If your level design had been more, centralized around the spawn point, then I think it would have been okay for it to be 10 seconds. But as it is now, I would need at least like 30, 45 seconds to explore the maze and feel good about it. I'm going to give it a 3 on the theme. Graphics, I liked how you differentiated your enemies. They looked good. I liked how you just slightly shook your logo on the title screen. The maze blocks themselves didn't seem to fit with your art style. So you've got like these brick pattern blocks that look more detailed than your characters, which are just solid colors. I guess that helps because it helps your character stand out from the background, but it did feel kind of like a conflicting art style. Maybe don't make you can make your walls solid colors, but make them darker colors. But yeah, the graphics were okay. They're serviceable. I'll give it 3.5. Audio, again, that firing sound really kind of wore on me, and that was most of the sound I heard. I think there was a new sound whenever the level was generated, but mostly I was just hearing that which is kind of like cacophonous on my ear a little bit. So I'm going to go 3 on audio. And mood, I think the mood that you were going for was fast-paced and thinking fast on your feet to adapt to new circumstances, which I didn't necessarily feel. What I felt was reactionary, which was, where's the closest upgrade? Okay, let me go to that. I don't know. I guess the mood was fine. I got a 3.5. All right. Yeah, some interesting ideas here. Again, I think the level design was at odds with the time limit. I think if you had made those two match up a bit more, then it would have been a bit more fun to make the decision of where am I going in this new level. I need to quickly decide which upgrade am I going for, what direction am I going. Oh, there's scary enemies that way, I want to go this way instead. But I didn't really get to make those decisions because the level design made those decisions for me. But yeah, well done overall. Yeah, it was pretty good. Thank you for making it.